OK, my next guest has a lot to celebrate this evening. Not only does he have a career spanning almost 3 decades, he's also a 20-time champion jockey, has over 4,300 wins, and has just over an hour until he blows out 50 candles on his birthday cake. Would you please welcome the birthday boy, AP McCoy? Congratulations, should we be saying? How does it feel to be turning 60?
It's terrible, Paddy.
It's terrible.
I used to think people who were 50 were nearly dead.
Yeah.
It's terrible, honestly. But I don't feel 50, so that's the main thing.
I don't think he looks 50, does he? No. I mean, we were kind of hoping for slightly more people to agree with that. I'm not going to lie. We'll try that again. Thank God this isn't live. I mean, he doesn't look 50, does he? No. There you go.
Thank you.
I mean, you could still be riding. You're still in good nick.
No.
Behave yourself.
A friend of mine said to me today, hope he doesn't ask you about how fat you've got. So I'm about 2.5 stone heavier than I used to be, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you feel better for that?
Not really, no.
No?
I like being thin and miserable. It's much more fun. So,
you were working for ITV in Punchestown this week.
Yeah.
When you're doing that, because I know you a wee bit, are you looking out at those riders and thinking, I could still beat these guys?
Yeah. You know, it's very different, isn't it? You know, when I grew up wanting to be a jockey. I didn't grow up wanting to talk about horse racing on TV. You know, I mean, I actually have got 4 sisters and 1 brother, and none of them have ever been on a horse in their life. So my younger brother, Colin, was All-Ireland champion boxer a few times, but none of them have ever been on a horse. So, but all I ever wanted to be was a jockey. So in terms of like getting to live the dream, then, and you think to yourself, where I came from the north of Ireland, there was probably more chance. I was going to say being an astronaut, but maybe a few other things, but definitely not being a jockey. So, you know, I'm not saying it was fate, but there's a picture of me on a horse when I was 4 years old, and there's no pictures of any of the rest of them. So,
I mean, well, you're talking about fate there. I didn't realise this, that part of this story was predicted by
I don't know about that.
down in Wexford. Tell us about.
Tell
us about. Was it your tea leaves?
No, I've done a thing last week for the journalist called Dominic King about my 50th birthday, and he asked me, did I believe in what was going to happen, and did I always think it was going to happen? And I told him the story that I was down at when I went to Jim Bulger's. I started in Jim Bulger's this week, 1990. I was 15. But I went to the Strawberry Fair in Wexford, I think, about 1991. With a friend of mine, Conor Everard, and his actually now wife Carmel. I don't know what the fortune teller told him or her, but anyway, I went into this fortune teller, and she, you know, don't ask me why I went to fortune teller. I was 17 or 16, whatever. But she told me that she could see horses, and she could see like big stages, and then she said to me, she goes, "Oh, you know, there's a jockey called Lester Piggott. Like him, that's what I'm talking about, you know." And I remember coming back out afterwards, and Conor and Carol asked me, said, she didn't really know what she was talking about. She didn't really know anything, because you're not going to tell someone that, are you? And for some reason, I told Dominic King that last week, and he wrote about it.
But that's mad. That's crazy.
Well, actually, genuinely, she would have had no idea that because I was 16 or 17 at the time, and literally it was like 9:30 on a Friday evening or something, you know what I mean? So there was no chance that she'd ever known that I had anything to do with horses. So
she forecasted the success. If she had forecast all the parts of your body that you were going to break winning, would you still have gone down that road? Yeah, definitely, yeah. Really? I mean, like I've got a list of the stuff here. I mean, can you... Don't, because it makes me sound like I was really not very good. Yeah, that's a really nice picture. That's a really nice picture. That's an improvement, Paddy. There you go. Put the picture up me. That's that's AP. After you give me that tip, that didn't win. Lovely picture. You broke your middle vertebrae, your lower vertebrae, both shoulder blades, collarbones, ribs, ankle, cheekbone, wrist, ankle, fingers. I didn't break me 2 femurs, Paddy. If that's easier. Yes. Okay, sorry. Okay. You chipped your teeth. You have a scar that runs from your wrist to your elbow. Yeah, I broke my wrist down my arm. Yeah. So I did, but you know what?
as a jockey, the reality of it is there's 2 ambulances going around behind you, Paddy. And look, sadly, I've seen colleagues being fatally injured. I've seen life-changing injuries. But you go out there thinking that the reality of it is the more you go out, the more there's a better chance you're going in the ambulance. The more you're winning, you hope you're going to be going faster than everyone else. There's a more chance you're going in the ambulance. You just hope that it's never going to happen to you. And as I said, I've seen colleagues having, been fatally injured, and I've seen colleagues having life-changing injuries. In Ireland, like Shane Broderick, 1997, I think it was. John Thomas McNamara, Robbie McNamara. And I've seen it more recently in England. A good friend of mine, Graham Lee, had a life-changing injury about on the 10th of November at 5:20. So,
whenever you look back on that now with passing the time, I know when you're in the zone, you don't think about that because you're thinking about winning. But do you realise how lucky you are that you actually were A, as successful as you were, but B, managed to come out of it in one piece?
Yeah, you realise how lucky you are. You actually genuinely think it's never going to happen to you. Otherwise you wouldn't do it. But yeah, I know I was lucky, and as I said, there's that's part of the job that I suppose when you see that happening to friends and colleagues, it's hard. You know what I mean? But
do you miss the danger?
Yeah, I mean there is some, and it's a hard thing to say when you see what has happened to friends and colleagues, but you go out in a 25-run race and you fall and you get kicked all over the place and you think I'm going to die, and then you get up and think I'm still alive. And I remember watching that movie about James Hunt and Nicky Lauder. And Nicky Lauder said, James Hunt said to Nicky Lauder, the closer you are to death, the more alive you feel. And in some ways that's true. No, but there's nothing you miss more than winning. That's what sport's all about, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I remember coming to see the film about you, and there was the premiere in London, and I went to see it, and I know at the time Chanel and the family were, delighted to be getting you back.
At the time, yeah.
At the time. How did that? Still feel the same about that?
I hope so, yeah. I think obviously Eve is 16 now.
Wow.
Eve is 16 now. Unfortunately, she likes show jumping, which is quite, but that's probably a good thing. It's good that she's doing something like that. So
is that something that you're going to, encourage her into? Or?
It was nothing to do with me. It was her idea. I'd prefer she picked up tennis, or she tried tennis or golf or something like that. It'd be much cheaper to buy golf clubs and tennis rackets than it would buy show jumpers. But Shane Breen is teaching her, and Archie is 10 and he likes football and golf, so he's hopefully going to be cheaper to keep.
I wanted to ask you about Willie Mullins. I mean, what an achievement. Where does that sit?
Unbelievable. He obviously tonight became the winning most trainer in Ireland ever. I think yesterday, the day before, he broke his own record for the number. I think he's at 37 Grade 1 winners now, which is a world record. So, and as I said to you, sport is all about winning, and he has done it more than everyone else. So, people can have opinions about whatever they want, but statistics and fact will tell you that he's very different. Now, Ireland is very lucky. Obviously, I had Vincent O'Brien, and Aidan O'Brien is, probably known as the best racehorse trainer in the world. So, but Willie Mullins, what he done today was, and what he's done all year, like he's won every big race. He won the Champion Hurley, he won the Cheltenham Gold Cup, won the Grand National with Ion Maximus, which was an amazing day. I see with JP and Noreen and all their grandkids how much they enjoyed that. It's just, what he's done for the last however many years, but in the last year alone, he was champion trainer in England, the first time that someone's done it in 70 years.
Yeah.
So, amazing, man.
Before we let you go, are Arsenal going to win the league?
Are Arsenal going to win the league?
I know you're a big Arsenal man.
They may have blown it a little bit, maybe against Aston Villa, but I still think that Fulham, I don't think Tottenham are going to do anything to beat Man City, but Fulham might get a result.
Okay.
You never know. The dream is still alive.
Any presence from any of the Arsenal team this time around? I know that's one of your more prized possessions.
I got very, very lucky when in 2004, for my 30th birthday, Ray Parlour brought me an signed Invincible shirt by all the Invincibles, and I have it hanging up. So yeah, it's a pretty cool thing to have.
Okay, well look, before we let you go, I know this about you, that this man never forgets a face. And be that for horses or humans. We also know that this is a stone cold winner, but can you tonight turn this lot into winners? Because it's that time of the show where we like to try to reward our audience for good behaviour with... You know nothing about it.
No, not a clue.
He looks terrified. You look terrified.
Sorry.
OK, this is a little game that we're calling That's My Horse. So, all you got to do for us, AP, is tell us the name of some of the horses that you've won on. If you can actually guess the horse correctly, this lot will actually win the prize. And if you get them wrong, then they leave with nothing. Are you ready for this?
Oh, my
Here we go.
That's not very nice.
Here we go. So let's see if you can get these horses right. First up, who's this?
Who was that?
Horses that you've won something on.
It's not Don't Push It anyway. I don't... something I've won something on. Edgerton Bleu.
There we go.
2000. Yeah, he won the championships. Yeah,
OK,
Bleu, yeah.
correct answer. There we go. Next one.
Oh, dear. You were literally showing me the horse's head.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's not binocular. Brave Inca.
Brave Inca is the correct answer.
This isn't... Oh, that's Don't Push It anyway.
Don't Push It. There we go. You got that one right. And what we go for? Last one. Here we go. For the prize. Glenn Campbell.
Oh, it's Wichita Lineman, sorry.
There we go.
How did I not know it was Wichita Lineman?
There we go. Wichita Lineman. Well played.
Thanks.
Oh, we got there in the end. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah. It means that... Oh, I knew you had no hope with that. Just made me laugh.